Bitcoin is absolutely ripping, making all-time highs, pulling back on a retrace right now, just coming at you with a vacation update video. And yes, Bitcoin is coming back down to 119,000. Was trying to hold on to that 120, and we'll see if it can continue this rally up. Currently in this small little pocket here, we are actually looking for a potential bounce out of this area here and see if we can push up. You saw on the higher term time frames that we do have a bearish divergence in here, but that's nothing I would worry about, especially with this continued momentum to the upside. Now, if we lose this level, 119,830, okay, I would be looking for a back test at minimum to the point of control of this range. Okay, we're looking to come all the way back to 117, which is about a 2% drop. So we'll see if we retest that. We have some key areas that we like to share with the Discord and where we are currently looking for price action to go. But let's jump in and take a look at the market cipher with the top-down analysis. Now, I know I hadn't updated you guys over the weekend, but we can take a look here at the weekly candle close, which is an absolute gorgeous, beautiful, bullish candle here. And now we are starting to potentially pull back, but guess what? It is Monday, so this can change throughout the week, and I hope it does continue to the upside. As we can see on these weekly candles from prior runs up, you get a little bit of a consolidation, then a pump, a consolidation, then a pump. So maybe a consolidation and a pump. However, we are hitting key Fibonacci levels, big extension levels coming through right now that we should be aware of. That 272 extension level here at 119,000. So let's see if that's going to play a big part. However, this is up only. So this is a beautiful thing to look at right now. Looking at the weekly here, we can see the weekly has gotten a bit overextended on the VWAP. So we're going to do a little bit of market cipher analysis here. It looks gorgeous, but a little bit overextended, right? However, the good news is on the 3-day, we have invalidated a critical, and I mean critical, beautiful bearish divergence. Okay, you're typically looking for the bear div right here, and we are now putting in a higher high here. You can see if I put that across here, we can see that we are starting to squeak above that high right now. If I were to pull this down right there, and you can see that invalidates the bearish divergence. Big move. Okay, we have 4 hours left on this candle here, and it does look like it is going to print green as long as it doesn't really close below, I would say, 118 by the end of tonight. So looking good and strong. This daily, a little bit concerning, right? A big blow off top, rejection down. Obviously, we had that Sunday pump, creating possibly a gap to the downside. If we do check CME really quickly here, and we can see that on the CME, yeah, we do have a gap, and everybody's going to love this gap, okay? We always love a good gap. So the CME gap here coming in right around 115 is on everybody's mind, okay? So we should be aware of that gap. Not saying we're going to fill it, probably eventually, but not just yet. Okay, we do not want to fade this aggressive bullish move. We want to be looking for pullbacks. That's what we've been looking for throughout our Discord, and we've been able to absolutely crush all these setups and hitting major targets all throughout the recent price action. This has been an absolute feast for the altcoins going in here and looking at the beautiful altcoin trade setups that we have given, key levels taken in advance, hype target hit, SUI target hit. Okay, some absolute beautiful trade setups given in advance in our Discord. If you do want to consider joining that, take a look, come over, join the free section, take a look at the video at the membership here. It is absolutely on fire, and this is the time to invest into a great community in the crypto space that is not only transparent but has a great price and a great community with 5 different traders helping you navigate these charts. Okay, you're not going to find anything like the Otter gang. Let's keep going. Okay, so going through here on our daily, we can see here flattening out. So this is like bullish continuation. I love when it flattens out here. Even if it flattens out and heads down, we still have a beautiful daily here with a higher high on money flow and VWAP beginning to reset here. You can see how it's flattening out here, which is going to be very bullish. You can see we sort of have this like upside trend line here with VWAP holding that zero line. Even in our big uptrend from before, you can see it never really gets to this like -10 level. It seems to hold that level. So as long as we're above this -10 level here, you can see I have an extra line on here. I think we're in good nick for the upside. Okay, going over to the 12-hour here. 12-hour VWAP got rejected. So this is something that I do like to pay attention to, especially with stochastics here front running kind of a dump. Not necessarily a big dump because we are in a bull run, but this can lead to a little bit of a correction forecast. Okay, it can lead to a correction, right? Maybe come down, test halfway down to the 0 line here, and then we continue back upwards. Okay, so maybe a little bit of a correction as low as possibly 115. We have some key levels for you at the end of the video if you do stick around and watch it. Okay, so we'll be getting to those as well. Going into our 8-hour, always checking the money flow on the 8-hour. It's very critical. Red dot printing, rejection off the VWAP. First sign of concern. Okay, the 4-hour. The 4-hour here, bearish divergence. Okay, coming through in here, VWAP crossover to the downside, starting to reset. Anytime the VWAP is below the 0 line here, this is typically an opportunity to buy, especially in a very aggressive uptrend. So we are getting to that oversold area. When we start to see that recovery, that's when we're looking to fire off potential longs. Okay, and you can see if you looked here where that green dot printed, but you front ran that with the VWAP to the upside here, you would have been able to catch this move up over on Saturday. Okay, so these things are very, very useful. Now, don't be too bullish. Be aware. Okay, so we are aware that we do have critical news data coming out tomorrow. Okay, I want everybody to have their ears perked up. We have core inflation rate coming out tomorrow in the morning, and I will not be live streaming. Typically, I live stream 8 a.m. till 10 a.m., but I'm currently on vacation, so if you do want to catch us live, don't forget to subscribe down below because I do trade live every single market open Monday to Friday, so make sure you go and check that out. Okay, but we do have that data coming in Tuesday. Then PPI, PP in your eye on Wednesday. I know you guys all wanted me to say that, so I'll say it. PP in your eye on Wednesday, retail sales, and then housing starts and building permits. Okay, so a lot of information coming out us this week. Okay, so be prepared for that. Anything can really affect the market. And you know, Orange Man is always waiting to tweet. So a little bit of a spike wave here, pushing down on Bitcoin initially. And yeah, overextended over the weekend. So typically you look for that retracement. We're looking for key bounce levels. Now going into the 3, the 2, and the 1 overnight, I would be looking for market cipher to cool off, maybe a little bit sideways now, and start to develop a range. That's typically what we want to see after a euphoric pump and everybody kind of jumping on the bandwagon. Altcoins doing good. So we're going to look at this as a range, right? So if I'm looking at this as a range, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull all this volume in the range, okay? And this is really going to give me an idea that, hey, man, we're holding here, we're retesting the highs, but can we come lower? And obviously we can. So the key levels that we are typically looking for in our Discord, we like to add multiple levels of confluence throughout, okay? And we add these levels and we look, okay? And you can add these levels yourself. This is not something I do typically, but I like to share it with you guys, okay? So as we roll over here, I was looking for a typical long in here, but that has yet since to confirm on this downtrend here. We were looking for VWAP to hold this morning. It failed to do so, and then we rolled over to our key buy zone. We do have uptrending momentum here, but if we do lose this uptrending momentum, we would look for a retesting continuation back down to about 116 to 115, okay? And that's where I would look for the range to develop within here. And absolutely any sort of consolidation here for Bitcoin is going to be bullish for altcoins. So any sort of consolidation, range bound, then continuation, these are going to be opportunities, okay? We definitely want to look for that. I do not think we are coming back down to retest the highs of the breakout, okay? I do not think, I repeat, I do not think we're coming down to this like 110 level just yet. We would really have to change an aggressive structure here on a much higher time frame for me to think that we are coming back down to 111. I don't think they're going to give people that opportunity after showing people what this thing can really do after a breakout of this big macro bull flag. Everybody is drawing the flag, and congratulations, you're right on your flag. We had the flag, the breakout, okay, and we have extension levels to the upside. But for now, I'm not saying we're coming to 110. I would say 115 would be the low of the range. If we are going to come back and develop a range, that would be the low of the range. But for now, I'm looking for something like this, where we possibly do a little liquidity sweep of all the late longs, and then we push up. Now, we treat this like a range. So this is now our high, this is our median, and this is our low. So this would be premium, equilibrium and discount, so we look to trade it as such, right? So if we hold the median here, we would look to rotate to the highs. If we lose the median here, we'd look to rotate to the lows, and we'll see what develops within here. Okay, a little bit of patience is going to prevail in this situation. Obviously, people are really euphoric. They're probably buying tops. We're not those people. Pullbacks are opportunities. If somehow we manage to come back down to 111, this is, I think, going to be your best buying opportunity that you will be presented with an altcoin run. Okay, because we have things like Fartcoin popping off. We have key levels like Jasmy popping off. We have Ondo popping off. We have SEI popping off. We have Sui popping off. Okay, so these are all opportunities, and now you can see what they're doing. You know, a lot of these cryptocurrencies are undervalued, so if you do want to learn how to take advantage of them and trade them, we have a lot of opportunity in our Discord. The SPY right now looking healthy, and the NASDAQ, US 100 here and NASDAQ are looking very good today. They actually pumped quite aggressively over this morning. So we can see that, you know, even though we got that pump on Saturday, typically you do get that correction. Monday, possibly false move down, right? And we look for that continuation, and onwards and upwards we can go. Okay, so when we look at something, for example, right, when we look at this big range that we had from before, and we look at once it started to break out, they didn't really give anybody an opportunity to get back in, right? It was just parabolic, right? So I would expect a lot of the same when we look at price action right now. This could be your opportunity. I'm not saying it is, but do the TA, practice good risk management, join the Discord, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys later. Bye.